Rayman, the limbless hero, he's been missing in action for quite some time. It's been a little while since his last appearance at a major title. Rayman is a character that's loved by many in the gaming community, so why has he been absent for so long, and why does he need to come back? First, let's take a look at Rayman's history. The original Rayman was released in 1995 and was a game that really stood out the moment that you hit that play button. This game was like a beautiful nightmare, stunningly frustrating and hauntingly gorgeous. Have you ever played that game that makes you question your sanity, but at the same time you just refuse to let it win? That's Rayman in a nutshell. It's like a roller coaster of emotions, with highs of triumph and lows of throwing your controller at the TV. Seriously, just play the game, you'll see what I mean. The game tells the story of Rayman, a hero who is on a quest to save the world from the evil Mr. Dark. Yeah, not the most memorable of villain names, but come on, it was the 90s, a time when bowl cuts and Furbies reigned supreme. But the game was set in a colorful world, filled with strange creatures and environments that I always just thought was so unique, especially for its time. The game made use of a wide color palette, with each level having its own unique look and feel. I always remember this game looking good, but I never realized just how much they put into this game until looking back at it recently. For a game that came out in 1995, this is pretty good. It's not perfect, but considering the hardware limitations of the PlayStation 1, this is impressive. I mean, just look at Bubsy 3D, this came out 1 year later. Rayman quickly became a fan favorite and went on to spawn multiple games, bringing the series to the world of 3D, a big step in the right direction, and this is where Rayman II made its debut. It's been over 2 decades since the game's release, but the memories of jumping, gliding, and shooting through its beautifully designed levels are still very fresh in my mind. Of course, I also play this game like once a year, but that's another thing. But it wasn't just the visuals that made Rayman 2 so great. It was the story, the characters, the gameplay. Oh, the gameplay. It was just like a symphony of joy and frustration, with just the right amount of platforming, puzzles, and combat. The game tells the story of Rayman, who's captured by the evil Admiral Razorbeard and his band of robotic pirates. Yeah, robot pirates. I don't even know how this series can get any better, but trust me, it does. Rayman now needs to escape from the clutches of the pirates and save his world from the tyrannical rule. Now, this is where we get introduced to the best voice acting I have ever heard. Could you imagine being a voice actor in this game? Yeah, we just want you to say a whole bunch of nonsense and call it a day. I don't care how old I get, this will never not be funny to me. Moving on to the PlayStation 2, in 2003, this would be the last Rayman game that we would get our hands on for a long time, Hoodlum Havoc. The game's plot centers around Rayman and his friend Globox as they try to stop the Hoodlums, a mischievous group of creatures who are causing chaos. Andre, a black lum, sets out to conquer the world by converting red lums into black lums, and this is where Rayman and Globox swing into action. Well, to be fair, Rayman does all the heavy lifting, while poor Globox gets a constant stream of plum juice-induced allergic reactions. One of the things that set Rayman apart from its predecessors was the addition of new gameplay mechanics. For example, Rayman now had the ability to use different types of power-ups that gave him different abilities, such as the ability to fly, shoot missiles. I think there was like a grappling hook, and there was quite a few in this. And to me, this added variety to the gameplay and overall just made this much more engaging. Of course, years later, we would get games like Rayman Origins and Legends, something that to me felt like a throwback to the original game, and I was all for it. With the release of these games, it seemed to suggest that our hero was making a comeback, or so we thought. Unfortunately, as with most good things in life, Rayman's time in the spotlight was cut short. So what happened to Rayman? Why has he been missing in action for so long? The answer is simple. Ubisoft has switched its focus to other franchises. We see this time and time again. A good example is Jak and Daxter from Naughty Dog. The company has been putting more resources into games like Assassin's Creed and Far Cry, leaving Rayman on the back burner. According to a 2018 interview with the chief creative officer for Ubisoft, he said, "When we do Rayman or games like that, we don't usually sell as much as Assassin's Creed. The team wants to be successful and sell millions, and we have more success with more adult-rated titles." However, the gaming industry has seen a resurgence of platformers in recent years, with titles like Super Mario Odyssey, Celeste, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, all of which receiving critical acclaim. There's still clearly a market for well-crafted platformers, and Rayman, in my opinion, has the potential to stand out in this crowded field with all of its unique and memorable cast of characters. So what do you think? Do you want to see Rayman make a comeback to the gaming scene with Rayman 4, or do you think he should just stay in the shadows? Personally, I'm rooting for him, but I grew up around these games, so maybe I'm just biased. Alright everybody, that's going to cut it for this video. If you stuck with me this long, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.